Okay, moving on here. Lancaster 11 League Media Day coaching interviews. Bruce Badgley, Andy Herr, and Jon Schultz from Lancaster Country Day. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'll tell you what, great way to do it here, having everybody. I think the coaches really like the fact that it's kind of on Sunday. Maybe I think the coaches' wives maybe have an issue with like being on Sunday.
Not anymore. Maybe a couple of years ago. Not anymore. So.
Not anymore. But gosh, I've seen you here for a few years now. How many years now?
This would be my 6th year at Country Day.
Great. And the one thing, and when I've done games at your place and what have you, is just the intensity that goes on there, and really the enthusiasm for basketball at your school. Talk a little bit about that. And I think we talked about this years ago on our podcast, the fact that you guys don't have a football team.
No.
So basketball is really the main kind of sport that the school revolves around, right?
Yeah, we have a strong lacrosse program there
Okay.
as well. But yeah, I think in the last couple of years, basketball has really become very popular with our kids. We have a lot of kids coming out. We've been able to field a JV and varsity team. We have 24 kids on our roster this year, which is as big as any other school.
Wow.
Last year we had great fan support. We have a small gym, so we've always encouraged our guys on the bench. We've got to make our own noise. And they do a great job of that, right? They buy into what we're doing. They're engaged through those games. Now we're getting kids coming in. We've had some theme nights, which wasn't common in the past. So yeah, we're really excited for this year. And while it's a small gym, when we pack it in there, it gets pretty loud.
Yeah, great.
I'm going to jump right into it.
Yeah.
So Section 4 historically has been Columbia and Mennonites playground.
Yep.
I think the window of opportunity is open for Country Day this year. I mean, do you see it that way? I mean, again, I understand that there's going to have to be things that get put in throughout the season and, one game at a time and whatever. Do you think that the window of opportunity is open for you guys to seize that this year and make a league playoff spot?
We don't plan for those types of things. It's just, we just want to focus on what we need to do day in and day out. I know it's cliche, but it's really what we do. We don't have any seniors this year. We're all underclassmen.
Wow.
So, but we're returning guys with some experience, with some leadership. And there are great opportunities for us. Whether that shows up in the win column necessarily, I don't know. That's not always. We do what we need to do.
That's a tough section.
It's a great section of basketball. But yeah, I think we prepare and put ourselves in position to take advantage of opportunities when they open up for us.
How much did making the state tournament last year just help overall? Like whether it be the influx of numbers or anything like that?
Well, I think it's very important. I tell our guys we want to keep playing until someone tells us we can't play anymore, right? And so it is nice. In my 5 years, we've been to the state tournament 3 times now. Last year we didn't get a win, but we won a couple of state games, and it's fun to. One of those late practice 52 of the season, say, look around, there's only about 4 teams in our league still playing, and we're one of them. So if you like playing basketball, we have a long season for you here. So
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a little bit, you kind of touched on it there a little bit too, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're really out there as a non-boundary school, correct? And so you really have to, get kids to come, and that. So having a good basketball program or having good athletics in general is very important for the school and how you keep a student body flowing through, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So we have kids that live all over the place. We're a non-boundary school, so to get them to come in, we have 6:30 morning shooting sessions. We have open gyms a couple times a week, summer league stuff. So to get them coming, the first couple years I was there, honestly, open gym was 3 kids. Maybe 4. That'd be great. Then we could play some 2-on-2. Now we're getting 10, 12, 14 kids at open gyms. We have a lot of kids that play other sports because that's a big part of our school.
Sure.
We value our athletics, very much so. So we encourage kids to play. Hey, you can play soccer, play basketball, play lacrosse. We step back. I step back as a basketball program. The kids that don't play a fall sport, we still do the workouts. And I tell our kids, if you're going to play another sport, you got to be in that full time. When that's over, now it's basketball's turn. So yeah, but they get excited for the season.
Yeah, interesting. Andy?
What I know we talk about the competing season of the District 3 tournament and the LL tournament. I mean, just explain to folks who might not be familiar what life is like in the 1A ranks? Because I think they might be more familiar with like the McCaskies,
Sure.
and playing all the name brands, and like, I mean, like we're playing Northumberland Christian and Covenant Christian, and teams that maybe folks haven't heard about. Like what? Just explain the schedule making and life as a single A school, I guess.
Sure, it's our AD does a great job of getting us our full schedule. So we are a single A school we're the smallest of the 6 classifications in Pennsylvania, and District 3 I think it has the most single A schools in it. I think there might be one other district that has the same amount, but we're a large single A district that we're in. So so we have our league games that we have to play. So we have our 8 league games, 2 against all 4 teams. And then we have the CCAC conference here in Lancaster. We play some teams from there. There's the Christian schools. Those are all single A schools. It's tricky to schedule them because they play league games on different nights and just kind of trying to find where things fit in. Some have a JV team, some don't. Some have a girls team, some don't. Sometimes we have triple headers with those. So it's just we always find ways to make it work. We try to play competitive, like Northumberland Christian, like you said. They're from up north, a good, solid single A school. We played them in states before. Like this is a good program for us. So we're trying to find that competitive. We play up in LL League,
Sure,
and we're trying to play up in single A as well because it is something that we don't think about districts all the time, but that record matters.
correct.
The strength of the schedule matters as well. So we might not always get the seeding that maybe I think we're better than our seeding sometimes is. But it's okay. We one game at a time.
Well, and the one advantage that you have, and you just made mention to it, and I say it all the time when we do sort of our league preview show or the playoff preview show, is it's like I really don't care what Country Day's seed level is because the schools that they're playing against don't see a state champion in Lancaster Mennonite. They don't see a Columbia who's like one of the best teams in 3A. I mean, you guys are battle tested, and then you kind of sprinkle in, I would imagine, sort of the litmus test of like, hey, if and when we do get to districts, like let's see maybe where we kind of stack up.
Sure.
Right? I mean,
absolutely. Last year in the section, I thought we did not beat Mennonite, we did not beat Columbia. I thought we gave them a good game. We really competed with them. And that carried over into our playoff series. We played Linville Hill in districts. It was a great team, right? So we played in the district finals, semifinals, I should say. Good for them. They're a spectacular team. But I think we had a really strong season last year. The kids that we have coming back, we have some young, experienced kids that don't take things for granted, which is really great. So they have been working very hard. They're really focused on the things that we need to do to be successful.
I want to ask you too. You mentioned that you have no seniors on this year's roster, and your numbers are like insane.
Yeah, they are.
Now that you've been at it at Country Day for as long as you have, ahead of schedule, about where you expected, better than maybe what you thought when you took the job. Because again, you were a CV guy, and we mentioned when we talked when you first took the job, it's like, does anybody really know what Country Day is? Because they were the first. They came in the league when you started. I mean,
Sure. Yeah.
What do you think about the program in general now that you have it?
I think we're in really good shape. I'm really happy with where it has gone the last few years. I think we've been making the right strides. I've said this before. I'll say it a million times. The administration at the school, the athletic program, everybody really is supportive of what we're trying to do. So when they joined the LL League, it was not just to say we're in the league. It was to join it and be successful.
Sure.
And we're putting our resources towards that, and kids are buying in, and it's been a good program so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty clear, I mean, and look, when you get in situations like you, as a non-boundary school, kids want to play for a winner, okay? I mean, they really do, and, families have options. The options that they want to have, for their kids, most likely, if they're an athlete, they're going to want them to play, A, where they can play, and B, where they're going to be successful. So how do you feel about the fact that that's really what Lancaster Country Day seems to be all about?
That's not what we are. We're a very strong academic school,
correct.
right? So that's what our focus is on. So families that are interested in our school, it's about the student.
Right.
It's
I get
about the
that.
grades. It's about that's what it's about more than anything else.
But from an athletics perspective, and when you put the total package together, there's really not a lot of competition in the Lancaster Lebanon League for a school, that plays at that has a high academics and has the high athletic aspect. So how does that feel that you're kind of up there on out there on your own?
Yeah, well, I think it's just It's work. It's work ethic. It's from our whole coaching staff. It's from our administration. It's our kids. It's they're good students. They're good athletes, and we're gonna maximize what we have.
Good.
Looking at the roster here, no taller than 6'3".
I'm taller than 6. I'm about 6'3.5".
Well, you're not.
Yeah, okay, I'm not on
He's
the
not on the
roster.
roster.
Yeah,
So
he's
fair
on the
enough.
roster.
That's right. He's
That's
above
right.
the roster
Yeah,
line
that's,
there.
What's that going to be like? Do we?
That's a little different than it's been in the past.
Right.
We've had some size in the past.
Right.
It's actually a lot of fun. Got to be honest. It's a different style of play that we have this year. It's been fun figuring things out. We're not super big. We have some pretty skilled guards that we're going to get out there, and it's going to be a different style than we've been playing in the past. And you have to be able to adapt to what you have. So
That's true.
we're going to make the most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it's great to hear you say that. So many coaches are so pigeonholed into philosophy. It sounds like you've got the flexibility that you're going to tailor your game plan over the tools you've got to implement, right?
Yeah, you're going to have to. I mean, these are the kids. They're great kids. I love the kids that we have this year. It's a different type of the basketball team, a different type of players, but I'm not going to say that it's always got to be my way, right? I have things that I love to do, but this isn't the team for it, right? So that's fine. So let's do something else.
Wow, good stuff. I tell you what, thanks so much for your time. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and like I said, I see you in a very, Lancaster Country Day in a very unique mold in the Lancaster Lebanon League. And, it's been fun to watch, and I think it's going to be fun to watch this year.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks for doing this, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
All right, take care.
Thanks.
See you.
See you.